Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how to make or how to start up this astronaut. He's so cute. He, she, they, could be whomever, but absolutely very adorable and quirky, and you can make it into a patch or you can make little ones. And if you have a themed, astronaut like space kind of stuff, perfect for that. And we're going to start up with chaining 11. And since I'm going to call this a tapestry, I'm going to use a Tunisian Simple Stitch. A Tunisian Simple Stitch is super easy for tapestries. I think it's just better than the regular single crochet tapestries. Not saying they don't look gorgeous. Jesus, people make gorgeous things. But I think Tunisian Simple Stitch makes the stitches stand out a little bit more than just regular crochet. And thankfully for our purposes, it doesn't flip our work, so we only work onto the right side of our piece. So you don't have to be like worrying about stuff. I always get confused with how I should be moving my yarn or how I should be doing stuff. So with this, you don't have to worry about that. And we're going to turn our work, and we're going to work, if you turn it ever so slightly, not all the way but ever so slightly, you can see the little bumps that connect, like this, little bumps that connect the chains, and we're going to work onto those. We're going to skip the very first bump. As you can see, there's a bump right here that connects to that very first stitch, and since it's our very first stitch, we don't need that bump there. And we're going to insert our hook, yarn over, and keep our stitches in our hook. Again, I think I missed it, but it would be a lot more helpful if you make your chains a little bit loose, so you don't struggle with the tension in between your chains. And you should always count your stitches. We should end up with 11 stitches in our hook. Now with our 11 stitches in our hook, we're going to do our return pass. So we just did our normal pass, and each row consists of a forwards and a backwards. So we're going to do a backwards stitch, not a backwards stitch, but we're just going to our other end without turning our work. We're going to chain one onto the very last stitch. For every row, we're just going to chain one onto our very last stitch, and then we're going to yarn over and pull through 2 of our stitches. We're going to do that again and again and again and again, all the way down our row. Now, perfect moment to say that yes, we went all the way down our row, but as I'm going to leave you the picture that I'm following on screen, as you can see, for our very second row, we actually start with a different color. So since we always have that one stitch in our hook, we're going to undo our very last stitch that we just did, and we're going to introduce our black color. Yarning over with that black color and pulling through. That just ensures that our very next stitch starts with the right color. This actual off-white color, we're not going to use it anymore. I'm not going to snip it off just yet so it doesn't unravel on me. Actually just going to work onto that very front post, or that very piece of yarn. We're just going to pull our yarn and keep our stitches in our hook, and that's only 3 times. And then we get to introduce our white color for our astronaut. 2 stitches. and then a black one just in between the little fitsies that we're going to use, or that we're going to create, and then 2 white ones again, and the rest is black. And for our very last stitch, we want to make sure we catch those 2 stitches, or that, not those 2 stitches, but that one stitch that creates kind of like, it has like these 2 pieces of yarn, and we want to catch those. And always chaining 1 onto the very last stitch, grabbing our yarn and pulling through 2, until we have 2 color stitches in our hook. That only means that whenever we have 2 color stitches in our hook, we always use the second color stitch, at least for this Tunisian Simple Stitch. And we pull through 2, until again we have 2 color stitches. We always use the second one. And again, and again, and that's our base done. I'm gonna go ahead and do 1 more row with you guys. This is just a startup for the Tunisian Simple Stitch. I know it looks funky all kinds of ways, but if you trust the process, you'll end up with a very, very pretty and clean, which is most important, looking tapestry. So again, working onto those front posts only of our previous row. It's practically just the same, but we do get to introduce 1 color. Actually, at this point, you can already fasten off or just nip this color yarn. We're not going to use it anymore, but it's already safe from unraveling. So 2 white again, 1 black, another 2 white, 1 black, and we get to do 1 little star. 1 little star with this yellow yarn. So introducing our yellow yarn, and our very last stitch is a black one. So training 1, and now you can do this on your own. As I've said before, it's just a startup, but look how clean that looks. I think, in my opinion, yes, I'm biased, but in my opinion, of course, it looks a lot cleaner. You can kind of like figure out more. It doesn't distort the picture as regular crochet would, but looking pretty good. And of course, down below, I'm going to leave the description, the link for the Pinterest pattern that I'm following. Or of course, if you don't have time for that, you can always pause the video and take a screenshot of the picture on screen.